100% capacity at Wrigley Field starting June 11th.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 sports venues to see before you die.
Wembley is a commanding modern-day coliseum.
Number 20, Oracle Park.
In my opinion, this is the most beautiful ballpark in the world.
Formerly known as AT&T Park, this baseball stadium opened back in the year 2000 and has since been home to the San Francisco Giants. There are a few magical reasons why this 42,000-seater stadium is awesome. The great view from any seat, the electric atmosphere, the roar when someone hits a home run over McCovey Cove, but honestly, it's some of the little things that make it great too, like the stadium's vast and varied food options, which includes the likes of crab sandwiches and the famous garlic fries.
Devour garlic fries at AT&T Park.
It's a fairly easy stadium to access on foot too, which cannot be said for a lot of other stadiums in the MLB. Number 19, Aztec Stadium.
A temple steeped in FIFA World Cup history.
This Mexico stadium has one of the greatest World Cup pedigrees in the world, famously hosting the Italy vs West Germany game of the century in 1970, amongst many other iconic World Cup clashes. Home to the Club America and Mexico national football team, Aztec Stadium boasts a colossal capacity of 87,000, although it did used to be over 100,000, making it the largest stadium in Latin America. And if you ask any professional athlete, they will likely tell you that this is not an easy stadium to play in. It's been described as a bee's nest, with an atmosphere that can be intimidating, especially for the away team, and a design that almost completely encloses its occupants.
There's something beautiful about it, and at the same time, terribly horrifying if you're the opponent playing Mexico there.
The fact that it's 7,200 feet above sea level, which can make it physically hard to breathe, doesn't help either. Number 18, Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. Feared and adored in equal measure by football fans everywhere, the Bernabéu has been home to Real Madrid since the 40s and has seen the club fill trophy cabinet after trophy cabinet. With a capacity of around 80,000, closer to 85,000 thanks to the 2023 renovations, its atmosphere, history and architecture are legendary, and for football fans, a Champions League night here is about as good as it gets in European football. The Bernabéu also has one of the coolest, most innovative pitch retraction systems in the world. There's plenty to be experienced in the stadium as part of a match day or an official tour, but regardless of how you take it in, it's a bucket list entry not to be missed. Number 17, Churchill Downs. Even if you've never watched a horse race, you've probably still heard of the Kentucky Derby, the celebrated thoroughbred race that takes place every May, and it's held at Churchill Downs, Louisville, Kentucky.
I think Churchill Downs has the best racing going in America right now.
Churchill Downs is rich in horse racing history, and its entryway and spires are instantly recognizable by fans of the sport. It's played host to a variety of noteworthy victories, but perhaps the most significant is still James Lee's 6-race card victory back in 1907. Yep, 1907. And believe it or not, Churchill Downs is older still. Try 1875. Number 16, AT&T Stadium.
Welcome to AT&T Stadium.
When it comes to domed stadiums with retractable roofs, this is arguably the best there is. The AT&T Stadium is home to the Dallas Cowboys and is officially the largest stadium in the NFL, capable of holding up to 100,000 people. As well as being home to one of the NFL's biggest teams, the stadium itself is just a modern marvel and is consistently voted as the nicest stadium in the league, thanks in part due to its comfy seats and massive high-def screens, which ensure you won't miss any of the action regardless of where your seat is. Whether you refer to it as AT&T, home to America's team, Jerry World or the Death Star, it's loved by NFL, music, motocross, boxing and rodeo fans everywhere.
I'm gonna get emotional, but I looked up and you just couldn't believe it. And it felt like you were on Mars.
Number 15, Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
No matter where you're from, this racetrack and this city are your home on race day.
Often referred to as the greatest racecourse in the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway hosts the Indianapolis 500, frequently labeled as the largest single-day sporting event in the world every Memorial Day weekend. This course has a rich history of racing, and it used to be home to the United States Grand Prix, as well as giving you a race day experience you'll never forget. Amongst an eye-watering capacity of over 300,000 people, one of the best things about the IMS is that you can really make a weekend of your visit, play 18 holes at the Brickyard Crossing Golf Course, visit the IMS Museum, and go for a blast in an IndyCar.
It's a beautiful thing, really.
Number 14, Melbourne Cricket Ground.
You've come on a beautiful Melbourne summer sunny day.
London may have the Oval and Lords, but if you ask some cricket fans, the Melbourne Cricket Ground is the best place in the world to watch the gentlemen's game. With a capacity of around 100,000, as of this video, it's the 11th largest stadium in the world, and also has the tallest light towers of any sports venue. As well as hosting many cricket matches, the MCG has also famously hosted the 1956 Summer Olympics and the 2006 Commonwealth Games, and to this day it hosts a wide variety of entertainment. If you're new to cricket but would like to experience at least one game, this is the place to do it. Number 13. Beijing National Stadium. This massive stadium in Beijing is often affectionately referred to as the Bird's Nest due to its steel beam design, and even if you don't know much about it, you'll definitely recognize that exterior. This 80,000 seat stadium was constructed back in 2008, and it was specifically designed and built to host the Summer Olympics and Paralympics. It also hosted the 2022 Winter Olympics and Paralympics, making it one of the most historically significant Olympic stadiums in the world. But this venue also hosts a wide variety of concerts, pageants, sports, and motor racing events. If you love the Olympics and like a stadium to have an artsy and quirky feel, the Bird's Nest won't let you down. Number 12. Maracanã Stadium.
The Estadio Giornalista Mario Filio, a stadium better known to millions of football fans around the world as Maracanã.
Football is essentially a religion in Brazil, and the Maracanã is the Brazilian football fans' place of worship. It was the largest stadium in the world when it opened in 1950, seating nearly 200,000 people. A recent renovation has taken it down to a still very respectable 79,000. Named a national landmark in 1998, it's hosted numerous impressive events, from Pelé's 1961 goal de placa to Germany's victory in the World Cup of 2014. A stadium featuring an unbeatable historical vibe and unparalleled atmosphere, it further enhanced its prestige when it hosted the opening and closing ceremonies of the 2016 Olympics, as well as football matches during those games. Number 11. All England Club. More commonly known simply as Wimbledon, in case you were confused, this is the venue of the only grass court open championship in tennis. The club features dozens of playing courts, 19 of which are the classic and now rare grass variety. The famed centre court is the world's 4th largest tennis venue and features a translucent retractable ceiling to let light in and keep rain out. In keeping with British tradition, players must wear white, and the usual food court offering is a bowl of strawberries and cream. The palpable sense of British tradition and ceremony gives the club a very special atmosphere, and you should experience it at least once. Number 10. Crypto.com Arena, aka Staples Center.
The Staples Center, of course, one of the most iconic arenas in the nation ever since it opened in 1999.
Certain stadiums on this list are steeped in historical significance, but honestly, the Staples Center deserves a place here because, well, it's the Staples Center. Almost like when a celebrity like George Clooney transcends fame, the Staples Center has been at the forefront of American sports, especially the NBA, since it was opened in 1999.
Glad to be here at Staples. Is that Staples, yes.
Holding up to 19,000 spectators, it's the busiest arena in North America, hosting over 250 events per year. And we're not surprised, as it's home to not only the LA Lakers and LA Clippers, but also the LA Kings and LA Sparks. Okay, so Crypto.com acquired the naming rights in 2021, but the Crypto.com Arena is going to take a bit of getting used to.
Crypto.com, that's going to be the name. That's an advertising, that's no name.
Number 9. Wembley Stadium.
Once called the Cathedral of Football by the great Pelé.
Appropriately dubbed the home of football, Wembley is the base for the national team of the country where the game was perfected. The towers of the first Wembley were iconic, and the arch of the new stadium, finished in 2007, is a prominent part of today's London skyline. It hosts the biggest matches in the English domestic game, as well as many huge international fixtures. The old stadium, torn down in 2002, played a huge role in English football. The greatest praise the new version can receive is that it continues the legacy that the old ground laid down. Number 8. Lambeau Field. Otherwise known as the Frozen Tundra, this is the home of the Green Bay Packers, and the oldest continually used stadium in the NFL. Opening its doors to Cheeseheads in 1957 as City Stadium, it was the first modern venue created specifically for an NFL team. Named after the club's late founder, Curly Lambeau, those who run the stadium have managed to resist the temptation of selling the naming rights to the stadium, unlike some other venues. As the games at the site are consistently sold out, you do well if you got tickets to any game. If you are so lucky, be sure to watch for the legendary Lambeau Leap in celebration of a Packers touchdown. Number 7. Daytona International Speedway.
Drivers,
start your engine!
Playing host to the most famous race in NASCAR, the Daytona 500, this monster venue packed in almost 150,000 thrill-seeking spectators at its peak, although more recent renovations have left the seating capacity at closer to 101,000 and 125,000, which is still massive. The $400 million renovations have drastically improved the experience for fans, with more comfortable seats and better amenities. The Speedway features a track that can be configured in several ways. For ardent fans, the Fan Zone allows a more up-close and personal experience of the races.
And Harrison Burton takes a wild ride through the grass.
Number 6. Old Trafford.
Manchester United are champions yet again.
Dubbed the Theatre of Dreams by club legend Bobby Charlton, the ground at Old Trafford is as much a tourist attraction as it is the home of one of the most successful clubs in English football, Manchester United. Although the atmosphere may not be what it once was, this stadium can pack in 76,000 fans and is still a must-visit for any fan of English football. The ground has seen some of the greatest players and teams grace its turf, but during Sir Alex Ferguson's historic 27-year reign, the ground earned its reputation as an indomitable fortress.
The maestro, the manager supreme.
Number 5. Anfield. From one gigantic Premier League club to another next, with Anfield being the home of the most successful club in English football, Liverpool. Just like Old Trafford, Anfield is often referred to as a fortress, and its atmosphere is arguably unmatched by any other stadium in the Premier League. The roar from the famed Kop End has been known to suck the ball into the goal, and with the stadium being expanded significantly over the past 10 years to over 60,000 seats, that atmosphere is only growing. Bob Paisley, Bill Shankly, and more recently Jurgen Klopp are just some of the big names to manage the club and sit in its dugout. Now, judging by my accent, you may assume I'm a Liverpool fan and that I've ranked Anfield above Old Trafford out of pure bitterness. And you'd be absolutely right. Number 4. Wrigley Field. It's had a couple of different names since it opened in 1914, but it's pretty much always been the home field of the Chicago Cubs since 1916. As the second oldest major league ballpark still in use, it's brimming with features that would never be seen at a modern stadium. The ivy-covered walls are famous, and the hand-turned scoreboard is one of the last of its kind. The bizarre winds and impressive views of the city are also among the many legendary features that make Wrigley unique. While some newer stadiums like Camden Yards in Baltimore have sought to replicate the old feel of ballparks like Wrigley, nothing quite matches the original. And yes, it's named after the chewing gum maker. Number 3. Madison Square Garden. Touted as the world's most famous arena, MSG stands out even among the many other famous landmarks in NYC. Although frequently used for concerts, basketball, hockey, and even boxing, fans know it as the home of the New York Knicks and New York Rangers, as well as the site of many historic boxing bouts. Several other structures bore the name before the current stadium was built in Midtown Manhattan in 1968. The oldest major sporting facility in the New York metropolitan area, the Garden is the only major sporting facility with a concave ceiling. This structural oddity allows unobstructed views from all seats. But there's an unspoken, unexplainable quality that truly makes MSG stand out from similar sites around the world. Number 2. Camp Nou. It's fitting that Europe's largest stadium houses one of the greatest football clubs in the world, FC Barcelona. Aside from having a committed local fanbase, it attracts spectators from across the globe who travel to the concrete monolith to see Barca play. With a capacity of almost 100,000, Camp Nou is frequently used for some of the biggest games in Europe. And as Santiago Bernabéu Stadium is significant for those in Madrid, Camp Nou is an integral part of FC Barca's Catalan identity and is much more than a mere stadium. You have no idea how stunning it is to hear 100,000 people sing the FC Barca anthem whenever the team walk onto the pitch. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Fenway Park.
Fans, it is now time for our ceremonial first pitch.
It's simple. Fenway's history cannot be matched by any other venue in the USA. By capacity, it's actually one of the smallest parks in the MLB, but that pales compared to the history that the home of the Boston Red Sox has developed over time. The lone red seat is a symbol representing the longest home run ever hit at Fenway, at 502 feet, and the wall known as the Green Monster dominates left field. The park is on the National Register of Historic Places, meaning that features like Pesky's Pole and Duffy's Cliff will forever be part of American history. So that's our list. Did we miss your favourite stadium or team out? Let us know in the comments below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.